The vampire counts march forth.
Hello and welcome to another Total War Warhammer guide, and today we are looking at the Black Coach, one of the most specialised units in the Vampire Count army. And no, it's not a troop transport as you might have expected. I would love it if you charged and then 6 little zombies popped out. But no, it's sort of carrying a coffin that's shaking about a bit. Beautiful model. It's absolutely fantastic. So today we're going to talk about the different stats of the Black Coach, and then we're going to see it in battle and talk about how you'd actually use it in a proper fight. So it has the evocation of death, which means it feeds on magical energy, then bolsters its resistances and strengthens its charge. This gives it 2 abilities, which we'll talk about shortly. It's armor piercing, and it's also anti-infantry, meaning it's brilliant for charging down those big units of Empire swordsmen or goblins or orc boys, that sort of thing. It's just perfect for that. And it also causes terror, which we'll go through shortly in a bit more detail. It's not the highest hit point sort of monster in the game. It's 3,800 hit points. It's got a decent amount of armor at 50, lowish leadership, even for sort of vampire counts, that's not fantastic. Speed of 80, which is brilliant. Melee attack of 24, but it does do magic damage, which is good. Melee defense of 8. So this is going to sort of prove a little bit tricky when you're choosing how to use this. You have to take that into account. And it also has a weapon strength of 80, and if you just sort of hover over it, you can see the breakup of it. So weapon damage 20, armor piercing 60, bonus versus infantry 20. It also has an amazing charge bonus of 80, which is fantastic. As you see, it causes fear and terror. Fear basically reduces leadership, and terror makes the enemy rout for a short amount of time. It's also undead, so rather than losing combat running away, it just basically starts taking more damage, but it will never run away. So that's what crumbling and disintegrating is. So its 3 main abilities is Black Nimbus, we've got Black Scythes, and Unholy Vigor. So they're all augment spells. It's just for the single unit. It doesn't help anybody else. And do they all last for 21 seconds? No. So the Black Nimbus is 21 seconds, and it basically gives it ridiculous amount of resistances. So it lasts 21 seconds, 44% magic resistance, 22% missile resistance, 22% physical resistance, and it also gives it a Strider ability where it ignores terrain movement penalties. Absolutely a decent spell, but I think there's better uses. You can use it every 90 seconds, which is they're all 90 seconds, but I think there's better ones to choose from. So next up, we got Black Scythes. This is probably my favourite. Lasts for 31 seconds. You cast it on yourself. It gives you an 18% charge speed, plus 24% speed, and 36% charge bonus. And if you think you've already got a charge bonus of 80, the charge on this thing is ridiculous when used with the Black Scythes. Next up, we've got Unholy Vigor, and this is more for if you're already in combat. So this is because we know we've got a melee defense of only 8, this is what you need for a bit more survivability in combat. Plus 34 melee attack and plus 60 melee defense. So that's the big one for this. So let's have a muck about and charge it into some poor little Bretonian people, and talk about how you'd use this in combat. Now for me, this can be used in multiple of ways. It's a very expensive unit for the vampire counts, and I'd use this just next to my front line, just maybe behind my front line. What we'll do is we'll speed this game up a little bit so we can use our abilities and go for the counter charge. I would wait until my big units are engaged, and then use this in a counter charge sense. I think it's too important to just run away totally on its own and do its own thing, because it can be whittled down. If it gets surrounded and you haven't got the ability up to give it more defense, then it's going to get torn down quite quickly with that poor melee defense. So I'd keep it relatively near my leader. It can go after individual single units of infantry. It will just smash through a unit on its own accord, and you just go on to the next one. But the idea is that, for me, think about it as a massive battering ram. That's how I use it. I use it as a battering ram with the Black Scythes augment, and I just charge it in like a crazy person, take out a unit, break that unit, move on to the next one, charge the next one. That's my favourite use for this. I think it's probably the best use for it. Right, let's just have a look in combat before we finish up. So we're going to go for our black scythes, I think. Giving it that speed boost for 31 seconds. Here we go. Look at it go. It's rattling along. And smash. So as you can see, you pretty much plow through an entire unit. So if you're going through one unit, you can then move on from the other side and just back out. You know, you could go through that one unit, move out the other way, circle around and charge. This is what you don't want it to happen, really. Is you don't want this guy just sitting in combat forever. You know, it does a decent amount of damage, but as you can see, it's starting to get wrecked. And because we've used the power, we can't help defensively. So don't overcommit this unit. I would only charge this unit when you know you can finish off a unit or break a unit and you can get out of there. Don't get it stuck, because look how quickly it's taken down by two very basic units of Spearmen at Arms from the Bretonnian army. There you go, guys. There's my little mini guide. My poor little coach. Where are my little zombies coming out? No, didn't happen, did it? There you go, guys. There's my little mini guide to the Black Coach. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit that like button if you did, and check out all my other videos. We're doing guides on all the other units in the game, and then I'm going to do some more sort of fun battle stuff, and maybe do some testing on particular units versus other units just to see how they match up. Thank you very much for joining me, guys. See you in the next one. Bye bye.